Hello, welcome to Gambler 007. Today I will be explaining about WebClient, which is released in Spring 5.x. Okay, before entering into the actual discussion, let me brief about what is the use of WebClient. So you might be knowing already, of course, olden days we were using REST template to connect with the other REST services. And after that, we also worked on the Fin client to communicate one microservice to another microservices. Not only communicating internal, and also whenever you wanted to connect with the external services, yes, we used to use the Fin client. Now we are having web client. So in this web client, see, web client is latest one, and this will support synchronized and asynchronized communication. And of course, as you know, REST template, it is deprecated. So now you can forget about REST template. Now you can start using web client. But to work on the web client, first you should know where is the web client and how you can work with that. This is something I will be explaining you with the basic coding. And I will also run the program in front of you. And maybe I will pick one internal service and one external service, how we can connect with those services. And I will try to print that in the console. Okay, let me share quickly. Of course, here I am using the IntelliJ. Of course, the choice is yours. Whatever you want, you can use. So let me close all the tabs. And what I'm doing here, this is small demo application I created. Of course, I referred to spring.io. And there just I generated this particular project, and you could see here in the form.xml file, it's a plain. You will not see anything specific, but I included a Lombok for my future use. And along with the Lombok, you would see H2, but I'm not using any of these features in this particular presentation. I just need a Spring. That's all. You see, nothing else. I'm not using any other stuff. Only it's a plain form.xml file with the Spring Boot parent. As it is a Spring Boot application, as I wanted to show you one REST service, that's why I considered Spring Boot startup parent. And once your form.xml file is clear, then what we have to look into the code, and you go to the main resources. It's almost empty, nothing. By default, it will take 8080 port in case if I run as a Spring Boot application. And this is the demo application. This is the main method. I don't know, this, you know, right? When you are creating a Spring Boot application, it will create by default. And the next thing is, let me go to web client. This is, it's no more related to any Spring Boot application. Of course, this particular thing you can keep outside also, but you can consider this is a separate component. And this one, especially I have created this Spring Boot application for the REST controller. Okay, let me brief why I am developing the REST controller. To work with the web client, you need some REST service. Anything it could be. At least it should have HTTP URL. So to connect, that's why just I built very small controller, and of course in this you will have only one get method. You see, of course it is also hard coded. I don't care about this particular service implementation, but I want one sample service. So that's why you could see here this particular controller. Just I am using REST controller, and I'm taking the path of /weather as a context path. And then right now I'm using the get method through path variable, and this particular method it returns the weather. Okay, you know, by default, the latest version of Spring Boot application, it will convert the bin into JSON. By default, it is. So in case if you post something from the payload, it will convert as a bill. But that is something we don't need to worry for this particular stuff. And let me run this particular project, how it works. See, it's like a simple, very, very simple, get service I built here. Let me run this application, then you will get to know. Okay, what I will do, just I will right click on the demo application and run. So you can observe what's happening in the console. This is a starting of the application, as it is a Spring Boot. You know, right, how it works. It loaded all the components, so whatever is configured. You see here, Tomcat started in 8080 port. You know, by default, it is a 8080 port. And nothing else. You don't see anything. Okay. And the only thing is now you take this one, whether, this is something I already kept here. So maybe I will type here, maybe Chennai. I wanted to know what is the Chennai weather. Yes, the temperature is high, you know, it is 39, 40, but it is hard-coded values. That's why you will see always this one, but this is something, it's a dynamic, whatever you pass, that is something I'm showing here. And the date also, whatever date time. So this particular date it will show. And this is sample JSON payload. And maybe if you want, you can see here how it is JSON formatter. I use this JSON formatter whenever I am not clear about the content. Whenever I click this, it will give formatted one. And it is handy, you know, easily you can identify this is the name, temperature, like this. It's very easy to read. So it's a more readable format. That's why I use this formatter. Okay. And you know, now we are having the erase service. Now I will show you how we can use it. And this is one service. And I wanted to show you one external service. This is something I wanted to show you. How I can show this is not a JSON. I don't care about digital JSON or some text, whatever it is, I can consume this service and I can print that is something in my console. And in case if you wanted to consume only JSON service, that's up to you. You can take your service, but I don't want to search in the Google again and again. Just I searched, I did not get any JSON service, so I took it from random. So what I will have, you will have, this is a, maybe let me show you how it will print in my console. Okay, you could see here how it is. Same pattern it will print here in my console. Okay, whatever it is, what I will do, we don't care about what it is, the service is returning. You think about how this service, how you are working on the web client. Okay, so let me go to my application. Of course, the web client stuff. This is again basic coding. I am not using standards. This is for sample and reference code. Of course, I am not using sysouts and all here. I am using logger, so SLF4j. And service annotation, I don't care. I don't need service annotation because I'm not doing anything extra here. So what I can do, okay. So once this is okay, maybe you can write this one consume API service. So this is the API service. And of course, maybe it depends on what I wanted to pass. Maybe this time I am passing NP, and I can change this value. And you know, this I can make it dynamic. Yes, okay, I can keep code, and then this is the code here. And where I should pass that here. Okay, maybe this is something I'll make it like this. Okay, and Of course, next this one also I no need to keep as uploaded one, and this is a city. Okay, two services, and of course two stuff. Okay. Once you are passing city, so this is something I will execute second time. But for now, what I will call and I will make this service also ready. Okay, maybe I will pass Bangalore as I am in Bangalore city. Okay, maybe first I will run the internal one as it is already running. Okay. So I saved this. Maybe for my reference, I'll keep some longer. Info client. And before that, I wanted to have one data. Yes. And once this ends, we wanted to have it's end. So logger basically in the real-time environment, this is for your reference for tracking purpose. When you get into production issues and all, it will help you easily. You can track where which particular piece of code it is failing and all. So for that reason, we maintain. I strongly recommend to use, but you don't use more logs wherever is applicable. Try to use debug like a debug mode. There is a debug. Use debug one. Okay. Now I just done. So what I am doing here, this is important before I am executing. Right here. Okay. You see here what I am doing here, this particular piece of code, I am initially building the web client. And as I am running this one, let me go through the simple one. What I am doing here, this is a internal service. Okay, internal service communication. Internal REST service consumption. Okay, and you see here what I am doing here. Just I am building the client here, web client, and through builder. And once I am having the basic web client, then here actually service call. And why I am using get here as it is a get method, and this is your choice. For example, if you are working on the post, for example, delete or options, patch, post, put, whatever it is. This is absolutely the method what is the service you are consuming. And once this is clear, which particular HTTP method you are using, then it is kind of you have to pass the URL. And here this is a base, just base URL. It's kind of till context path you will be passing, and this could be changing again and again. So that's why maybe once you, for example, if you are having multiple services you are consuming here, if you build once and you keep as a utility method, you can reuse this particular stuff, and that's why I built separately. And once you are having the client and matter of invoking the respective get method, HTTP methods, and here you are passing the URL. So as I built the weather report REST service, and path variable I am passing as a city, it is a dynamic. So I am setting like this. Once this is okay, then what is next? So now I am using Exchange, but it is saying it's already duplicated. Come on, just they given the web client, but they are saying it's already duplicated. but for my demo, I'm using this. So the intention is don't convert it to string and print. And rather than referring, taking the content and using, the recommendation is convert to bean. But I don't have that much time. Maybe you can try. You have to build the one